Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a Magic Review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Today, we're gonna look at a new release from Craig Petty and Penguin Magic. It's crazy. It's crazy. Penguin Magic sent me a box of their December releases. You know, these are hot, fresh, new tricks for Christmas, and been looking at them for a couple weeks. Now I get to share them with you for an entire week, which is awesome. You wouldn't believe how many things in this box were Craig Petty. Even if Craig Petty didn't come up with a trick, Craig Petty is on the tutorial. This guy has had a banner year. Can you think of 10 tricks that were absolutely incredible and Craig wasn't involved with one of them? I can't. Like, Craig had a banner year. In fact, I'm wishing Craig Petty would just go on vacation next year. He should. He should take his family to Hawaii, right? Don't you think Craig did a great job this year? He should take his family to Hawaii, take the year off, and you would still have enough magic that he released this year to carry you through into next year. Prolific doesn't do Craig Petty justice. Prolific. Put out a ton of stuff. Case in point, brand new effect, Cheater Chips. Cheater Chips, Craig Petty, 60 bucks. Yes, 60 bucks. And here's what I want to do with the review today. I want to fully explain what this is. Because even watching the ad copy, the trailer, you know, doing all that, I still wasn't totally sure, like, okay, what am I getting? What does this do? What is this like? I got it, yeah. I got you. I'm gonna be able to explain this to you. You're gonna get it. And at the end of this review, you'll be like, yes, I know exactly what this is. Yes, I want it. Or no, you don't, right? You should know exactly what things are before you buy them. You should see yourself doing it. See yourself, you know, in routines or with spectators. You should see yourself being a part of this. Don't just buy stuff because it's the latest and the greatest. Latest and greatest comes out every single day, okay? Buy stuff you love. Buy stuff you're gonna perform, all right? So what Cheater Chips are at its core, marked poker chips. So clay chips look, sound, feel exactly like real casino chips. Okay, don't confuse this with Sucker Punch. This isn't a Sucker Punch style effect. There's no magnets, there's no shells. These aren't coin tricks, okay? Well, some are, but these are more like card tricks. Card tricks that you're doing with poker chips. These are marked so that you know the backsides. In fact, Craig says that his inspiration for this was the 5-for-5 ESP match. So he wanted to do the 5-for-5 ESP match, but with poker chips. So eliminate the whole ESP, spooky, Ghostbusters, you know, reputation that ESP cards have, and replace them with poker chips. Gambling, people always love gambling routines, and we understand poker chips, right? People don't understand ESP cards. If you say, hey, this is the wavy lines, they're like, what? But if you say, this is a $100 poker chip, they're on board, okay? They get it. So yes, you'll be able to do a 1-for-1, 5-for-5 match trick, right? An ESP match trick with these because they have Phil Smith's optical marking system on the back. Phil Smith and Craig Petty should just get a house together, right? They should just get a house together and just continue to make quality tricks for the rest of our lives, because they're a match made in heaven. They come up with the greatest things. And let me just say, I have bad eyesight. I have to wear glasses. Without my glasses, I can't see a thing. I can see the marks on this crystal clear. If it says 250 on the front, I know it says 250 on the back. I can read it. And you might think, wow, that's so obvious. The spectators will see it too. No, they will not. For one, they're not looking. People have heard of marked cards, but they've never heard of marked poker chips. And two, the mark is so cleverly disguised that unless you point to it and say, do you see this mark? They'll never see it. They will never see it. All right, so I explained kind of what it is. Let me show you everything, and then you'll have a better idea. That's right, you heard me. Everything. Everything. Uncle Dave does not want you to spend 60 bucks blindly at Penguin Magic and you don't know what you're getting, okay? So it's not time to watch my floating head talk anymore. It's time to look at the packaging. Another beautiful hard-shelled magnetic enclosure box. And then inside, you are gonna get 14 clay chips. That's right, 14 clay chips. Am I gonna show you all the chips? No. I'm gonna show them to you for the most part. Okay, so you get the little white marks on the sides, just like real poker chips. And if you like to sit there at the table and like dribble them, they have that dribble effect, they have that dribble sound. So here's your 50, okay? And on the back side, it says poker, right? So it has a front and a back. Here's your 100, okay? And again, says they have a back and a front. Here's your 10, okay? And here's your 25, and here's your 250. And like I said, you'll get two of these. You'll get two 25s, two 250s, two 10s, right? So that you can do a 5 for 5 matchup. So these are your, let's call them ESP cards. These are your ESP cards, marked ESP cards. And then you'll get 4 more standard gaffs. So these will be standard gaff cards, but disguised as poker chips. So if I show you a 50 on one side and 100 on the other, what is this? It's a double facer, right? It's a double facer. If I show you a back design here and a back design here, what is that? It's a double backer, right? If I show you a 5 here and a 5 here, what is that? Ooh, that's a very different type of double facer, right? It's a double facer that kind of works as a double backer. And then you have a blank face and a regular back, so that's a blank faced poker chip. Which means you can do ESP tricks and card tricks and gaff card tricks and, because of their shape, coin tricks. That's right, you can do all those types of things. Transpose, color changes, classics, brand new stuff that Craig will teach you. There is a powerhouse of stuff here. And here's where this review is gonna kind of take a left turn, okay? The tutorial is 3 hours long. 3 hours long. Let me tell you how I did it, okay? Here's what I did. I wanted to watch the 10 card poker deal. So I watched that trick first, before I watched anything. I found the mark for 10 card poker deal. I watched that trick first, and then I was like, okay, now I've seen a trick. I've seen a trick, I've seen the props, it wasn't edited, right? Now I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning and watch it from the beginning. And then I watched Craig introduce the trick, talk about what the chips were, how they're made, where the marking system was, and then I was like, oh. So then I was ready to watch the 10 card poker trick explanation. Now that I've seen the trick, now that I know the secret, now I watch the explanation. And now, after I've watched that, then I can just perform that one trick, right? I mean, you're not going to show multiple tricks to people, perhaps. You're probably just going to show them 2 or 3. Learn one and start doing it right away. Don't be overwhelmed by 3 hours of tutorial, because in reality, there are 16 tricks taught on this. 16, okay? Nobody should learn 16 tricks back to 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 back. You shouldn't. That's not a good way to learn. You should learn a couple tricks, a handful of tricks. And when you've done those tricks, then move on to the next, okay? No one's sitting you down, twisting your arm and forcing you to watch 3 hours of tutorial, but it's there. It's there. Craig Petty, Penguin Magic, they go above and beyond. So, in addition, you will learn how to force a poker chip, and he's gonna teach you a bunch of sleights. Then he's gonna give you the 10 card poker deal. He'll teach you a 1 ahead, teach you a transpo. He's got a trick in there called Quinta Extreme. There's an impossible prediction effect. He's got another one called 3D poker. There's a trick that he calls Craig's Discovery. There's a Jazz Aces style effect, a swindle trick, a free will plot. He does the classic will the cards match with these. He'll do a chips across or a coins across, and then there's some closing thoughts. 3 hours, but the timestamps are marked. So at the very beginning, there are 3 pages of directory. That's how much is on here. 3 pages of directory. But now you at least know what you're getting, right? You understand that it's a set of ESP cards disguised as poker chips. They are marked, and you get a handful of classic card gaffs that'll enable you to do ESP-style tricks, card tricks, gaff tricks, transpose, and some coin tricks, right? So you'll get a whole powerhouse set, a whole tool. And the advantage of learning the way I was teaching you, or telling you, is you'll learn one aspect of the poker chips, and you'll have that locked in your brain. You'll do that trick, and then you'll get comfortable with the marking system, and then you can move on to another trick where Craig will teach you a different aspect of the chips. And I think that's a great way to learn. Pocket space, you're only going to carry the chips with you that you want to use. Obviously, every routine uses a different amount of chips. You're not walking around with 14 chips in your pocket at all times, okay? That's not happening. Angles and inspectability, perfect. There's no crazy angles, there's no trapdoors, there's no magnets, there's no shells. So everything can be inspected. Slice and difficulty level, all pretty easy. Craig is not teaching you anything knuckle busting. And like I said at the very beginning, he's gonna go through all the sleights where he teaches you forces and false counts, false shuffles. And that'll enable you to do all the tricks inside this package. Positives, it's another great Marvel team up with Craig Petty and Phil Smith and Penguin Magic, right? It's the dream team. It is the dream team. And you're getting, Craig's really good at doing this. Craig is really good at giving you something that you're familiar with in a package that you've never seen before. So you get this and you go, I don't know what this is. And then he explains it to you. This is that. And you go, oh, this is that, but it doesn't look like that, right? Because now it has a brand new look, which means you can do classic tricks to a brand new audience. And these poker chips are brilliant. I mean, Phil Smith's brilliant anyway. We all know that, right? He's brilliant. But when you combine his talent with Craig Petty's talent, with the magic of Penguin, you got another solid effect. Can't say anything bad about this. I would love to be able to say, oh, they're not real clay chips. They don't feel right. They don't sound right. Oh, the graphics don't look like real poker chips. They don't look authentic. Oh, the marking system's too small. Oh, I can't read the marking system. I can't say any of those things. I can't say any of those things. I can't say, oh, the tutorial's too short. They didn't give you enough tricks. Can't say that either. Perfect. Perfect trick. Perfect trick. Big, huge thanks to Penguin Magic for allowing me to have this so I can do the review for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.